Hi, everyone, and happy Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. And tomorrow is also Cinco de Mayo. Um, I was going to, and actually, I'll show you. This is what I did live last week. Um, this is, I sprayed it with the uh, clear crystal, the Krylon triple thick. It's not really triple thick, but that is what it looks like. Final. I didn't actually touch it up at all. I kind of liked it how it was, and now that I can see the lines or the dots around the ovals a little bit better when I'm looking at it in person, I can see them better. So I left it as was, but I was going to make some of these others. And I brought them all up. There's the lime one that I did. I love this one. This one's so cool. And then I have all these other ones. And I thought, I could make some more of these. Then I thought, you know what? It's Star Wars Day. I need to make something very special for Star Wars Day. So, off to the side these go. We're not doing that today. If I have room to put them. Don't have any room to put them. I had a box here and now I lost it. Hold on. Give me a moment. Actually, these can go up here. These two lovely guys. Here. All of these actually do, by the way, have a magnet on the back of them, so that you can stick them to anything. And I'm trying to find a good spot to hide them for right now. Hold on. I even found these lovely things. These are, how big are they? Okay, about 10-inch stars. I was going to try to do Mandalt Omni, so I might do that. Save that for next week. But I'll probably stain them with the unicorn spit. But I'm not going to do that today. I am going if you hear an occasional thunk or something, sounds like something's chewing on something. Our dog Sabine is sitting underneath me and chewing a bone so that she doesn't pester me. Okay, ready for Star Wars Day. I've got something really cool. I've had this for a while. My mom actually got it for us, and I wanted my husband to paint this because he's the big Star Wars nerd. I am too, but I can ask him any trivia question, and he will always tell me what the answer is. As we're watching Andor, he's constantly telling me, "Oh, this is because this, and all kinds of other background things that I really didn't know or about the genre of Star Wars, I guess. So got this for him to paint, but I'm going to paint it now because it's been sitting on my desk for a while. It is an R2 bank. Check that out. There's a hole in the top. This is all ceramic. It is, back the camera up a little bit so you can see the whole thing. There we go. But turn on my light. This apparently a Great Plains mold. I do not know the year of the thing, so apologies to that. It's a little dinged up. It could have been cleaned up a little bit. It does not have all of the details that R2 has, but it has enough that we can do a few. So there is a silicone rubber thing at the bottom too. Really needed those pennies and quarters and dimes and nickels. You could open it up. I'm going to leave it open to paint. That's what I'm going to do with this. And this thing is actually really tall. I mean, you can see that it's pretty big. It is, give you measure it by size. Two doesn't lay flat. Yeah, it's about 8 inches tall. So it's a good size piggy bank. But this is what I'm going to paint today. I have, let me lay him down. I don't want to. As I said, he doesn't have all of the markings and stuff that R2 normally has. And pardon me while I try to find the photo. Find my husband's. There it is. Okay. Hide that out of the way. As you can see, he actually does not have the 3 bars that go across the top. So that'll be a little different. The panels are not matching. He does have the 2 vents here. He does have those vents, but the rest of it is pretty much, I mean, he does have the eyeball or the projector. I'm sorry, again, if my husband was beside me, he'd be able to tell me what that was. There's the other eyeball. He does not want me to paint them red as they have them here. He wants me to paint those the dark blue or black, which is fine. There are no things here. I mean, this is kind of what this is supposed to be for his feet. There are no cords because they can't really do that type of stuff here for these ceramic things. Here's another interesting thing. They put the vents here, which is supposed to be there, and they added one on this side. I guess that's kind of artistic liberties, I guess, to make it look like R2, but not make it like R2, I guess. But of course, whoever cleaned this off didn't do a very good job in keeping that very flat, but it's okay. I'll live with it. I can paint. I could draw a paint line, straight line through there. I'm good. The back of R2, I don't know where they came up with these circles because the back panel does not have any circles, and it doesn't have. I guess this is supposed to be the back door to R2 or something. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. And there's also no other panel here. I'll probably paint one on because you don't necessarily have to follow what they put on here. Like this thing, I don't know why they put even like there's like little. There we go. You can see the little divots, like there's hinges or something here for the back of this. That's just wrong. And this is totally wrong. You can see these. Those do not belong on R2 whatsoever. The legs, they did not include the hydraulic or the bars here across or do much of anything for the legs either. I would gather to even say that the top section, yeah, it's all right. That'll work. It's not a perfect R2, but it's an R2. Now, up here, if you can see that it says Great Plains. There. Let me turn off my light. See if I can. There we go. Okay, that door kills me. Like R2 needs a an electric fuse box or something on the back of. That's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of the fuse box downstairs in the basement. Yeah, R2 needs one on his backside. Sure. Oh, good heavens. All right. Here's a divot. I'm not quite sure what that divot is supposed to be. I don't know if they meant it to be this item or if they meant it to be the circle. It's just, like I said, artistic liberties. They probably said, hey, you can make R2 look like, and everybody will know that it's R2 because it's shaped like R2. But, yeah. This is going to be fun. Okay, so R2 obviously is mostly white with blue accents. The top dome of them is silver. So I have off the side here. Move this onto the side. Oh, I just don't need wood glue. Okay. And I will probably I know in this schematic the lines they're outlined in black. I don't know if I'll do that. I might do that with a medium I might try a medium gray first. And then if I don't like it as a medium gray, I might bump it to a dark gray. If dark gray doesn't look good, I may actually just put it in black, but I don't want to do it all black and then hate it. And I'd rather do the lighter colors and paint to it. So I'm going to paint. This is I don't know how old this is. It is Delta Ceram Coat. The label is label's paper, so it is an older thing, but there is no date on these that I can see. Oh, actually, oh my gosh, there is a date. 1998. Is that what that says? Darn, there is actually a date on there. Let me get my thing here. Let me look. Yes, 1998. Delta Technical Coatings Incorporated from Whittier, California, USA. Ah, interesting. Okay. So that paint's 25 years old, plus 2. Good heavens. And it's still good. it is still very, very good. I use this all the time. And to be honest with you, I don't think I've ever had to buy it. Silver is not a color that I use a lot in my stuff. So there is a lot in here. So, yay! 27-year-old paint. Still good. So that will be the dome. What I might do though for this is before I put these, this is metallic silver. Before I do that, I may give the dome a shade of gray, just kind of as like a primer to get it on there. I don't want to do white because I don't really want. Sometimes when you lay a metallic over top of white, the metallic gets lighter. Whereas if I match it with a color, let's say I use Cadet Gray here, this version, Delta Ceramic Coat. Let's say I put this on, then it makes that the gray behind it, if it gets a little transparent, it still is the gray color that you want the silver to be. It's a little hard to explain that, but so sometimes if I put the silver over top of the white, it would get to be lighter, and I would probably even have to do an extra coat or even 3 coats. It just really depends on how well I want this to shine or to be metallic. Putting it directly on the ceramic, sometimes it just depends on the paint. Sometimes the surface absorbs the pigment of the paint, leaving the metallic on the surface, and when it does that, it separates it and it looks weird. So it doesn't give you a good nice metallic silver. It kind of muddles it and makes it look odd. So what I'm going to do, this is Apple Barrel White matte. I work in mattes mostly unless I'm doing something special like this that I need a metallic. So let me get this R2 out of the way. One moment, I'll plug him in. Plug my iPad in so I don't lose. Power. Okay. Go back to that. Too bright. Here we go. Drizzle gray will be good. Okay. Give me a few moments to get some paintbrushes and stuff ready here. I've got them ready. It's just got a few things to touch up. My desk is clean, actually. Forgot to clean off my table, sorry. This was my dad's. He was a draftsman. Gave me this. to use to clean up. I use it all the time. Another thing I need to do. Okay. I also need to pick out a good blue. Let's pick good bright blue. See here, there's the little blues that I have. R2 is a very, very bright but deep color blue. I think we will go with ultra blue. Do that. All right, 78.2. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the base and the legs white. As far as this section that is supposed to be blue, and obviously this section here, which is so bad. Why did they do that? They didn't give them the 3 bars. They just gave them the 1 bar. And there really isn't space to even manually paint one. Maybe that's actually why they did it that way, because R2 is known for sorry. R2 is known for these 3 bars, and it's descriptive for these bars here. But that's not there. It's just one big one. And maybe that's, of course, they can't go super detail on. I mean, it could, but it's going to be challenging. So, for the, we'll figure it out. What to paint first? Yeah. All right. Actually, I use my smaller version of the apple barrel white. because I kind of use this big guy as the refill for this little one. So I will use this because of how big R2 is and how much space I actually have on here on my table. I need a bigger art room. I need an art room like the size of a house kind of thing. Because I've got one room would be for painting, one room would be for crafting something else, and one room would be crafting something else. Let's see. Okay. Now I'm using this angle brush shader for my things. Yeah, I could use my larger brush. But I use those for more of, like, if I'm, it's hard to tell. I just prefer to use the angle brush for some of these things because I can get into the corners a little easier. I can actually, let me do this. Or two, probably needs to wipe down two. All right. The reason why I don't like using these kinds of brushes more so is that the paint gets absorbed up into the brush more than these, where I can just easily brush them and not have paint constantly wasted up inside the brush. So, dookie, tickle your belly R2. You probably can't see that well. Let me actually see if I can. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, see, that's already knocked stuff over. And I like using these angle brushes because of the short length. Like I said, the other ones, the paints just get absorbed up into it. And I also, I'm not, you don't need to like go crazy and do a sloppy thick coat of paint on these. You just do something very nice and light and easy. So, I'm not quite sure what to do with that. And some of these, when you get ceramics like this, it's like, yes, I could really ignore what's here. If I really wanted to, I could have taken sandpaper and sanded off all of these weird squares and the electrical box hatch, the circles off the back. But it's, as you can see here, the thickness of the bisque of it is just about like a quarter of an inch. Actually, no, it's not even a quarter of an inch. It looks like it'd be an eighth of an inch. So I can't really do that because then I risk making it fragile, and I don't want to do that because it's a piggy bank and it should hold a lot of stuff. So, this is probably the longest part of painting, is just doing backgrounds. It's not very easy to hold. Of course, with an angle brush, I can get into these crevices, corners nice and easy. And I'm also trying to avoid my lines. Like if I put the one key point, like if I dip my brush and made it really, really thick and stuff, I've got that line. And if I don't clean up that line, this paint dries. Acrylic paint dries pretty quickly. And so you end up you're seeing your brush strokes and seeing odd things in your on your item. So less is always a good thing for these. And I'm sorry that I don't post the, hey, I'm going to be doing live this weekend. It's kind of, I have to do it on the fly. It's either I record it and, make the videos myself and post them, and later and stuff. Or I just do it live whenever I get into the art room to do it. I've obviously got a full-time job. I can take care of my husband. I've got other things going on. Sundays are also usually a laundry day too. Got to go to work on Monday, and so I don't. It's just if I can get in here to say, yeah, I can do that this week or go live, I'll do it. I don't try to make a set schedule on it because I need to be flexible with what I've got going on. Some things I've noticed when I do these is, you might have to go back over and do a second coating on some lighter colors. And again, if you hear a chewing noise, it's my dog underneath me. She actually just turned 2 this week. One other thing, I don't think you can really see that. I somehow missed a spot right there. And that is one problem with painting white on white, is that you can't tell when you missed a spot. I first saw Star Wars when it came out in 1977. I was only 7 years old. My mom took me and my brother, and we loved it. As Harrison Ford said, you can't go anywhere without hearing, having John Williams' music follow him around. Something to that effect. It was really, really great when the music always makes a movie, and John Williams is awesome. And they have, I've seen them in concert here at the Pittsburgh Symphony twice, and it's so good to hear the orchestra play the themes that he's written. When Star Wars came out, we came out of the movie theater and we were marching down the street just so happy and just humming the Star Wars theme over and over, and just couldn't get it out of our heads. I don't think I had any Star Wars toys growing up, but I had a necklace. Just to let you know, I am going to paint this white, but what I may do as you can see, it's got some scuff marks on it from being sat on a dirty table someplace at some point. I am going to paint this white, but when I finish this, I will probably cut out a piece of felt. I'll probably do blue felt to match the top of our twos. Here you can see, like, if I'm setting them down here, I'm also risk scuffing the base. That's why I'm painting the bottom of the top and do the top later. But when I put them on the side, I might actually have to set them in a pillow, or not pillow, a towel, so that the paint doesn't get scuffed just by me sitting it on here and dragging it around back and forth as I paint it. But yeah, I'll probably put felt on the bottom just to clean it up and just to make it so that it doesn't damage the paint. When I finish painting this, yes, I will give this also the Krylon spray. Give it a good coating of that. It's always good to have a good working and clean space to paint. Yeah, like those are damaged there. I wonder if I took a black light to that, if it would show me if I missed a spot. Because I wonder if the color of the ceramic versus the white that I'm painting, if it would show up. Well, I don't have one handy. Do have a green light and a red light. I wonder if that would work. But anyways, I mentioned that I don't think I had any Star Wars toys growing up. But I did have a necklace. I had 2 necklaces. Back in the day, you used to be able to get take box tops off of the cereal boxes, mail them in with click 4, send in 4 box tops of cereal boxes, and maybe $2 or $1 or something like that to pay for shipping. Yes, shipping in 1978, 1977. To have these, there was a set of 4 necklaces. There was 3PO, there was R2, there was a Vader helmet, and the 4th one was Chewbacca. And I'm not quite sure why, but we ordered Vader and 3PO. I don't know why I did 3PO and not R2. But we collected the box tops and sent out to get the necklaces. And Vader arrived first. I wore Vader to school. I believe, I actually think that was we got the the necklaces came out more. They may have came out with for the first one, but I know that I wore it either in 6th grade or 7th grade. But I wore Vader, the Vader helmet necklace to school. I had the worst day of school. I had, I failed tests I should have easily passed. Kids picked on me. They pulled my hair. They stole my books, anything I had with me that day. They harassed the absolute hell out of me. And I remember going home that day crying. I got off the school bus and I cried all the way home. And a couple of days later, 3PO arrived. And 3PO was only about like maybe this big. The Vader helmet was pretty big. Vader helmet was actually about the size of this thing. I still have them. I just don't get them out and show them off because I don't like Vader. 3PO was a little bigger. 3PO I'll get out every so often, but I won't get him out right now. 3PO was probably if the Vader helmet was this big, the 3PO was probably just a little bit quarter of an inch longer or something. But I wore 3PO as soon as I got him. I had the best day of school. Best day because one of the kids who was picking on me got expelled for 3 days, I think. Doing something, picking on somebody else, I guess. I don't know. But he got expelled. And there was I think there was a surprise quiz, and I nailed it. Totally nailed it. And had a bunch of other things happen. It was just really, really good. So I did not wear the Vader necklace and have not ever since then. He has stayed. The Vader necklace has stayed in my my jewelry box, and that is where he will stay. I can't believe how much negative energy it gave me that day to make things so bad. But when I met my husband, we've talked about Star Wars and stuff, and I think I showed it to him, and I think I pulled out the necklaces and showed him that that I had them, and I told him the story about how bad Vader was for me, and so when we would do things for Star Wars, or if we'd collect toys or something, if it was anything to have to do with Vader or the dark side, I would refuse to touch it because I didn't want that negative. I didn't want the negative dark side power on me because it just didn't work for me very well. So I really wouldn't touch anything that was Vader related. If he had told me to hold a toy for him a little bit, I would just I'd complain about having to hold it and not it's not a good thing for me to hold this. I didn't want to do it, but that was my I am probably I would say force sensitive, maybe. Then does that make me force sensitive to to reject the dark side that much that it does not do me any good whatsoever to have anything to do with Vader. I want to say that had happened in 6th or 7th grade, because I want to say it was 7th grade. So if it was 7th grade, it was probably more for when The Empire Strikes Back came out, because I think that was 82. I can't remember. It's weird, though, that as I hold this between my papers there, between what I've already painted versus the top, there is a temperature difference. It's weird that happens, I think. But on the dome, it's about room temperature. But if I grabbed a hold of the legs, it's cold. It's weird. One other problem that you have with doing ceramics of stuff like this is sometimes there is ceramic dust and crumbs and stuff in the inside. So let me put that off here. I'm not finished painting with the white, but I want to shake it up and clean off my tabletop. I don't know if you can see that, but there is quite a bit of ceramic dust from me doing that. Yeah, that all came from R2. I'm going to look for something here real quick. What do you wonder there, puppy? Thought you knew. Let's see if this thing works. Ooh, I do have red. Let's try this. Pardon me for a moment. Let me turn off some lights. Yes, I'm using red. Not really. Doesn't really show up any different. See, this also does green. Green does a little bit. See, like right there. I missed a spot. If you could see right there. See if it shows up that way. Hmm. Now I'm curious as to whether or not the black light would actually work on that. It's a little flashlight. Changes blinks red. I might actually have to try that. Let's see if that works. If you can see it in the daylight. Yeah, there is the spot that I missed. One spot there too. I might have to go dig that out. I had a little mini one. It was a bar. It was only about like this big, and it was perfect. You can see my hands are getting dirty from this thing too. Give me 1 second. One thing I bought this. This is really for makeup, but I love the different patterns and stuff here in the bottom because it's for makeup brushes to be able to clean up your makeup brushes. But I thought that it would also work for paintbrushes too. Yeah, check that out. Yeah, cool. All right, turn this off to the side. All right. Fix that spot that I missed. Painting over the fuse box. That's hilarious. No, in the original and the R2, those in the movies that Kenny Baker actually was placed in, there was no back door. They actually lifted off the dome and put him inside that way. There was no other way for him to get into R2 for him to activate. And my husband and I went to Celebration 3 in Indianapolis when they were going to release Phantom Menace. And that was fun. Fun in some ways, but I don't think I'll ever do that again. It was just so packed with people that if you if you were claustrophobic, it was not a good place for you. I'm not claustrophobic, but holy crap, that was so many people, so packed. And if somebody was dressed up as Princess Leia in the bikini outfit, good heavens, everything just stopped because so that people could take pictures of her, of the person wearing that outfit. Um, and if anybody else was dressed as something really cool, they would, you would be standing, not really standing in line to get any place. You'd be just kind of trying to get to one place or another. I'm sure the like San Diego Comic Con is probably like this too, but it was just crazy to have people just stop traffic, stop pedestrian traffic just to take pictures of somebody in a costume. It's nuts. And but what was cool about it was there was a droid club of sorts. There were a droid club that people made their own R2s, and you would be walking in the hallways to get to some places, and then all of a sudden you'd be, there would be somebody with a remote control, with the remote control things, and there would be an R2 unit come to, whizzing uh, through the lines and stuff. And they did have I think they had like an obstacle course for them to do, and somewhere, I hope I didn't record over it, but somewhere I have a videotape of that because it was just funny. Um, it was funny to see all these R2s, and people made their own R2s. They made their own. They they the R2s would make the noise, make the. Uh, I I botched that. Totally botched that. Sorry. The whistling and some of the wow noises that they would make. But they had that. It was so funny. It was that was probably the best thing um, that I saw there. Um, it was just crazy, packed with people. But to see like a dozen R2 units of, and not all of them were done up like R2. Some of them were done up like whatever color they wanted. There was a purple one. They just had all kinds of them. It was just so fun to see the different varieties, and it was nice to see that type of variety eventually in the movies, that they had all of the different um, that R2 astromech droids did not need to be white and blue. They could be any color, and that was that was really cool. That was, my husband actually volunteered to sit and um, the autograph hall. He volunteered and got chosen to sit with. I apologize for not knowing the person's name. Again, I know I know enough Star Wars stuff to get me by, but I don't know like who did the voice of certain things, who certain actors were, and stuff like that. I know some now. I mean, the main actors, obviously, um, but um, like he sat with the person who did the voice of General Grievous. Um, and he sat with him to be his kind of bodyguarding away for the uh, autographs. So, and he actually sat beside their table. Um, was right beside Peter Mayhew, who did Chewbacca. Here I can actually see a little better than I'm finishing up the white. But I want to try that to see if that works with the dark light. That light's downstairs, so I'd have to run down and get it. And the reason why I want to see whether or not I have any spots missing, or if I've dragged this across my surface and scraped the paint off, is because when I spray this with the clear coat, the final clear coat, it will show the bisque. It'll show up really, really bad. And it'll just make it look absolutely horrible. So I am going to run downstairs and get that light. It's a monstrous light. So I'll put this here. I'm going to put myself on mute. If anybody's watching, hey, now's a good time to hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel. Post a comment. Tell me what your favorite Star Wars character is. And I will be right back. Okay, I found it. Yay! Okay, this thing is gigantic. It is a big 24-inch long black light. Actually, let me flip it around the other way. I'm going to plug it in here. I'm going to turn off my lights. Let's see if this works. Ooh. I love that. Well, yes, it does show me, but it's not as strong as I was hoping it to be. Check out my thumbnails. That's funny. Oh, this is cool. You gotta see the other paints I have up here in the in my section. How they are glowing really cool. Black lights are fun. Okay. I mean, I can see a little bit where I painted. But is it showing me where I didn't paint? I mean, kind of here in your light. It's showing where I didn't paint the dome, but it's not showing me like where I missed a glaring, a crevice or a spot or anything like that. It's not. I'm trying to hold this one. Going upside down. Well, bummer. Kind of worked, but it didn't work. Where is do have not there. Oh wait, these it. No. That's neon green. Ooh, wow. You gotta see all my colors. I'm looking. Oops. All the stuff I got around here is cool just to see it all lit up in these different colors. I don't think I have. Oh, I did put them there. Move this out of the way. Now let's just have fun. Just having fun. I do have some colors that I've painted that are, these are obviously neon colors. Wow, are they showing up neon? Those are cool. That is crazy. That's wild. What is that? Folk Extreme Neon Green. Oh, that's what's glowing over here. That's interesting. These two are new to my collection. These are actually Invisiglow Extreme paints. Those are cool. Okay, time to stop playing with lights and get back to painting. And my little project didn't work, or my experiment, I should say, didn't work as planned. So let me turn my light back on down here. What's the matter, puppy dog? Are you bored? Okay. I gotta find a place to put this. Or try to put it back in the box. Hold on a second. I've got some stuff to fix. Sorry. Black lights are cool and they're fun to play with. But put this. You just see those colors. That was the neon green that glowed like crazy. These are what the neons look like without the black light. And that is what those Invisiglow look like just plain. When I do these tests so that I can see what they look like, I make a section of white and a section of black so that you could see, and then a section of plain so that I could see what it looks like when you put it on. Actually, I painted this purple and this green. The paint actually does not come on green or purple. I just put it on purple so that I could see what it would look like on purple and what it would look like on green. With the green on white hardly shows through, and the purple Invisiglow on white hardly shows up too. So these are just, it's kind of a way to just test my paint, see what works, what could work, so that I can figure out what to paint where, when would be a good time to use such paints. Okay, so I think I missed a spot there. Let me just look at it from a distance here so I can see if there's anything I'm missing. And like I said, the paint is cold. Where it's painted over, the white versus this, that's not cold. This feels cold. I just think that's weird. Ah, look what happened here. What did I do? Looks like I got a little dirt or something right there. It also looks like I didn't get into that corner. That's why sometimes especially when I paint white as a base on ceramics, I will sometimes go over and give it a second coat, just so that I make sure that I get every nook and cranny on these things. Sorry, not seeing that. Sometimes the white is, especially on a ceramic, that it does enough that it makes it strong enough that you don't need a second coat. The apple barrel that I'm using here for this, the white, If I had ceramic coat white, I'd be using that. But the apple barrel white is doing a good job. While I clean off my paintbrush again. And the one nice thing about this thing is, like, I can take this into the bathroom sink and wipe it off. I can also, if I want to, give it a little bit of spray, take a paper towel, dab it to get all of that out. And I like that you can, doesn't need to be that thick of a bowl. I like it. I think it's fun. It's actually a good use. All right. Okay. There's a spot under here. Ooh, there's a spot right there. That looks like that got, like I scraped it. There. Do a line here a little bit better. I can see a little just coloring here. Let's give that another swap color. down there. Okay. Now for the top. Actually, as a test, let's do this real quick. Let's take the blue. I want to see how well this blue shows up. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. So the blue is it's not as strong. I can actually see a lot of my brush strokes in it. And even as I go over it over again and again, the ceramic is kind of absorbing it and not letting it rest on it good enough. So yeah, it definitely need. I don't really want to put drizzle gray under it, but let me try it. Let me get down here just so I can show you the difference. Here, it's really going to show up. And I can see my brush strokes, but it's not. It's also the type of paint. I mean, this is very... It's transparent a bit. It's almost kind of like a gel. It's the way this paint is. So this will take several coats. I'm not talking just a good thick coat of what I normally put on. This will likely take 4 to 6 coats. And I'm not going to bore you with that because I've already been recording for an hour and a half. And I haven't even gotten the top done yet. Because with this paint, I'm seeing my brush strokes and I don't want to see that. I want to see just the color. And as you paint along, you end up kind of removing the paint that you put down below. So it's, like I said, it ends up being almost more like a gel stain than it is. So let me get, since I'm doing it, I might as well finish this section. And pardon my husband if you can hear him coughing in the background. R2. Let's let it dry. All right. Here, if you could see the difference between, this is a very nice blue. It is kind of the white that I put below is coming through. But here you can see where it's kind of dull. It's not as bright as that. So I don't think, well, let's see what gray does. just for one, I'm going to paint that gray. And then we'll put the blue over it. Jeez. Well, I don't want this gray to be a super thick coat because I'm going to put the silver over top of it. I just want this to be of not super thin. I mean, I don't want to. I don't want it to be super thick, but we're getting there. Let's try the blue over that. And then I'll also put a little silver on this so that you can see what I do here. Okay. Yes, it will need extra coats, but let me try a different brush. This will work. Yes, as I paint, it kind of scrapes it off and shows it, makes it opaque. But by doing it this way, then this also becomes kind of a primer for it. If I let that set, it'll get a little thicker. I do have other... Actually, I don't think I have any other silvers. I think this has been my go-to silver for years. This is just a very nice silver. All right, so let's put it right here. Here you can see that it does keep a very nice metallic shine to it. The gray underneath helps it. There we go. It almost makes it look like it's the buffed silver, shiny silver that R2 is. I love this color. It may also need a second coat because I am seeing, here you can see right here, there's how it gets a little transparent there, and you can end up seeing the splotchiness. So yeah, this probably will get a second coat, but putting it right over here, I'll do the top section here. So here you can see that I'm getting it's not the same if I put the gray as the primer versus just applying it to the ceramic itself. I'm not getting the same color. I'm actually having an issue with the color of the ceramic affecting the color that I want to see. So here you can see that color and this top color are two different things. So it's just one little thing that I've learned in painting ceramics with acrylics like this, is that it's sometimes having a primer or a bottom layer of the color that you're painting, especially with these metallics, is a good thing. Sometimes you don't need it. It just really depends on the type of acrylic that you're using. This is going to go here. But you can definitely see that color, even though it's the same paint, it is different. It shows up better here than it does here. Up here, it almost I mean, I've got all kinds of lights and stuff going on here, but up here, to me, it is giving me almost more of like a champagne gold kind of silver. It's not giving me the silver that I'm getting down here with the gray underneath it. Okay. And oops, I got silver on the blue. Now you can see that's the nice deep blue. And yeah, you probably will need a couple of coats. Oh, I got air bubbles in my paint. Okay. Going to put this down so that I am not scraping the paint against my desktop, my tabletop. Now for his eye here, this will definitely be black. I might I might apply a little I have a black that is a metallic type black. I might put that up there too. Actually, I'm painting that already. Yes. What am I doing? What am I doing? I'm using the small pen. What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? Oh my gosh. Come on. Get with it. All this should be gray. And you go over that section with white. Actually, let's cover that whole thing in gray. I was going to keep it as black, or as bisque, so that I can adjust it. But now I need... Cool. I am going to paint for that blue. Okay, there's a spot. The only thing that's odd about when you're painting ceramics is you will get little divots that just don't get the first coating. I mean, you think you apply a really good spot, and then you'll get little divots. I mean, you look like you got good coverage, but then you'll get like a little spot right here that needs it. Those there need it. There's a couple there that need it. So it's good to look at your painting from all angles. There, I didn't get that very good. Even though that'll be black, it still didn't get very good. You want to be able, like I said, when I spray this, I don't want the bisque showing through. I want the color. Okay. Okay, that guy should be mostly done. Fine. You don't want to pop. I'll just use this. Well, there you can see it's a little bit thicker. It still has some spots that I need to fix, so that needs to dry. So, well, folks, I have reached 2-hour mark, and I appreciate you hanging around with me. But what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to just record the rest of this and post the video for it later, because you do not want to be bored with all of the touch up and final details and stuff. Let me paint the dome silver here just so that you see the whole silver. I don't think I have. Okay, but I don't. That there. Actually, no, I'm not going to do it with that. Give me. This version. Okay. Or do I? No. Yeah, that'll work. Here's where I could make an extra panel here to match. R2 should have, this actually should be split. He has blue from here to here. There's a panel here, panel here. There's 3 panels, 1, 2, 3, and then the semi-larger one. But about right here, it stops. And on the back side, there should be a blue square right here. There's also should be an extra eyeball projector port back here. which is okay. I can ignore that. But then from here to here on this side, this should actually be divided, which is okay because that's where the edge of the mold was. I can adjust for that. But I do want to put a spot back here for him. So I don't want to paint that silver. So I'm going to do something little off. Let me put a little bit back on that. And cute little scissors. Got these cute little scissors when Giant Fabrics closed. So the width of the tape is a little too much. Yeah. There should be a spot like right there. Am I crooked? Oh, I'm crooked. Try this. See if it works. I've actually not done this with ceramic. I've done it with lots of other things, but I've not done it with ceramic. So it should be right here in the center. And it's crooked. All right, we'll try that. And what I did that for is so that I could keep this gray instead of the silver that I'm painting over top of it. hopefully when I take that tape up, it doesn't pull the gray off with it. It might. Said I've not done that with this before. Gap right there that I didn't do. Okay. Yeah. he's got some work to be done on him. But I do appreciate if you've watched this so far. I will go through and get around the nooks and crannies with the silver. I will finish the blue, fix the top, and start drawing lines in this. I actually, if the blue tape works here, I might actually put a section of blue tape on the side here for his legs, because there should be some silver things on this side too, it looks. So but I need to find something to eat. I think. So thanks for watching. I will post part 2 of this probably later this week after I go through, and like I said, this is not complete by far. But what I do is I will film this, and I will speed it up so that you can just see the key parts to it. But I did at least want to show you, like, if you're putting a like a primerish. I don't want to call it a primer, but is what it is. It's just a base coat for what the item to go over top of it, especially for metallic paints. They just don't do very well on ceramic and show up very strongly. So you almost have to put a base. And this stuff, that is definitely. I wonder if I can actually use. I don't want to put a different color on it. I like that blue. That's the blue that is R2. So, but thanks for watching. And like I said, watch for part 2 later on this week. I will post the finalized version of him, of R2, all painted and sprayed, so that we can all save our pennies in it. Thanks for watching. May the 4th be with you.